What do you know about the situation with Andrew right now? Because all my fans are asking me like, dude, you gotta ask Sterling about Andrew because you're friends with him, you're best friends with him. So
Thank God that we got the report about the
cancer.
tumor that was in his lung, and it's not cancerous, which is really, really good. So we didn't even know that. Like, so basically, what the deal with that? Tristan came to me like a year ago and was like, "Yo, there's this thing going on with Andrew's lung," and I'm like, "Oh fuck." And obviously, we said we don't want to talk about it. Don't talk about it publicly. Cool, whatever. Obviously, I mean, Andrew's not the kind of guy who would talk about it anyway.
Right.
You know, he's a real tough son of a bitch. So that happened, and then Sartorial Shooter was taking him to the hospitals in Dubai, seeing a bunch of specialists and stuff, and none of us knew that he'd had the biopsy on his lung that the doctors had recommended until it was released like a couple of days ago.
Sheesh.
Luckily, it came back with the report that it's not cancerous. That's really, really fantastic news. So that's fine. There was reports that he'd lost a bunch of weight. He'd lost like 10 kilos. That's probably because he's not eating tomahawk steak every day, and he's eating prison food. So it's not cancer that's caused him to lose a bunch of weight. It's literally just shit prison food. It's really nice to see how many people are like, speaking up and supporting him, and making that voice heard, because we still need that. I mean, it's unfortunate that we feel kind of powerless in terms of what we can actually practically do, because it's very much within Romania and Dicot's control to like keep them there as long as they want. But we all know the truth. We know the truth that these women lied about these allegations, and they fooled everybody. And hopefully the Romanians will realize that very, very quickly, and release the boys and let justice be served. And maybe then we can actually go after these women who've made false allegations and maybe bring them to justice. But heaven forbid that ever happens.
Because I remember when I was getting canceled, I told you about that. Like some girls that I used to fuck with trying to cancel me, and you two as well. So
yeah, I've had a couple of instances where I've had women and oddly enough, it was one in the industry actually. Basically make outlandish false claims about either me doing something inappropriate on set, or like using some content we shot together without her permission, even though there was like like a model release and mutual use of the content and stuff like that. And I don't wish that on any man, by the way, because it's horrible. Like to have an allegation like that, and it's literally just your word versus her word. And as we know, most of the time, it's believe all women. The guy gets kind of the raw end of the stick a lot of the time. And until you've kind of gone through that as a guy, you don't really have you can't really sympathize with the situation these guys are in right now, because it's fucking horrible. Absolutely horrible to have your integrity and morals questioned in that regard. And all you can really do is just speak the truth and hope that people, come to reason.
Right. And usually when they push the girls to like get more evidence, it's like usually the girls just stop. At one point they kind of give up, and then they're like, oh, it's no big deal, they don't really have much like substance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why in Islam, I believe there's it's like 2 or 3 women to like one man's testimony in these kind of situations. Because people might ask oh, why would a woman ever lie about this, bro? Like, look at this one girl in who's in the Tate case right now. There's a history of this. She literally one of her ex-boyfriends self-deleted himself, got rid of himself because she made allegations like this. Another one is in jail, and I might be getting confused. Either him or another one is actually trying to sue her for the false allegations. And she's got a history of this. She ran away from her parents and stuff, and it's just a pattern consistently, again and again and again.
Any guy with common sense would be like, oh, okay, we know these type of girls. We've met these types of girls. I've dealt with these types of girls. You've dealt with them. Yeah, these girls are all fucked up. They just want to make your life miserable.
Yeah, I mean, people love attention. Women love attention. Guys will especially blue-pilled guys, will seriously underestimate what a woman will do just for attention, for her 15 minutes of fame, and for a feeling of vindication, for hell hath no fury like the wrath of a woman scorned. If you make a woman annoyed, you would be shocked the lengths she will go to try and ruin you, and with no moral framework around it, complete fabrications and lies, just because she feels a certain way.
I've seen it happen to guys in my school as well. Like, girls will just say shit, and it's kind of that position where you put a guy where he has to really stand up for himself, or he has to back down, make an apology video. And for me,
apologizing never works.
No, never works. That's why I'm like, dude, you can't negotiate with terrorists. It just doesn't work. You lose.
100%, man. And any guys watching this, if you ever happen, unfortunately, if you ever go through something like this, rule number one is just don't fucking apologize. Do not fucking apologize. Because there's two things here. One, like, your apology doesn't do anything. All it does is all the apology does is, like, make people think you were guilty in the first place, right? And the second thing, you might apologize because you think you're trying to appease people or you know, change their perceptions of you. If people don't like you, they don't like you. They're not going to change their fucking perceptions of you just because you've given. You could give people as much concrete evidence and proof as you want, and they will. If they don't like you, they will stick to their guns, and nothing you can tell them is going to change their opinion of you if they don't like you.
You know, it is what it is, but you see girls do it right when guys become successful. It's like Trump, they do it to Trump, they do it to Andrew. Anytime a guy becomes successful,
Brett Kavanaugh,
every single dude.
Johnny Depp. Like, there has been so many examples of this in the last, like, 6 to 8 years. You would think people would have caught on to this by now, but apparently people still get away with this bullshit.